if Aaron loses his job and I have this passive income coming for months and months and months, we still have that. That comes no matter whether he's working 9 to 5 or not. I like that.
Yeah. You like just money showing into your checking account.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to a new episode of Success Chronicles. I'm sitting with Deena Daniels today, and I loved this conversation because she just did the thing that we're all scared of. She went through the biggest fear that I think most people in our society have. She got downsized from her company. She worked for 17 years, and somebody in a big chair made a big decision and said, after 17 years, we're getting rid of the entire organization, and decided to fire her after 17 years. And she decided at that moment to do something different. Instead of going to get a new job, she believed in herself. She believed that getting a new job wasn't the actual answer to the problem that she was facing. She decided to do something else. So I want you to listen to Deena talk about the transition she's gone through and making the most significant financial decision she's probably made in her entire life. Check it out. All right, everybody, and welcome to another Chronicle. Today, we're sitting down and talking with Deena Daniels, and I'm so excited because you're local. You're a fellow Kansas Cityan. I don't know if that's how we call ourselves, but Kansan. Missourian. What side of the border do you live on?
Missourian.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you so much for joining. You have such an incredible story that I can't wait to get in. Your other half, Aaron's not going to be joining us today, but tell us a little bit about you and Aaron.
Well, he works 50 hours a week. I actually got laid off from a job I worked for 17 and a half years. They outsourced. So, we found tax lien code actually, and that's kind of what I want to do. I love everything you guys do and you've taught us. And right now my mom's moving in, so I'm going to be her caretaker. And honestly, this fits perfectly. I can take care of her, and I can research tax liens. I can look up at deeds. I can do everything right here.
Love it. Well, that's amazing. Before, maybe just as a foundation, Aaron's still working full time.
He is. Our goal is to get him away from that.
What does he do?
He is an auto body manager. So you wreck your car, go to him.
Sounds great. Okay, Deena, tell me about what led you to tax lien code. Not the ad that you saw, but how long has Aaron been in the auto industry for?
About 25 to 30 years.
Okay. What industry were you in before?
I was healthcare. I worked for a healthcare company.
Okay. So when did the two of you decide that you wanted or needed something else?
Really, once we found out I was going to be laid off, we had a whole year's notice, and then we actually started in house investing. Like, I paid for training from a women's group, and I learned tons of videos, learned a lot there, but after 6 months, unless I wanted to pay more, I get kicked out. I got kicked out of their group. I got kicked out. All my videos got taken away, and I want to tell everyone, you guys don't do that. I can go to as many events as I want. But it really started, we knew we wanted to do investing, and tax lien code, you give us multiple, like liens, deeds, and the real estate side. I didn't know we would get real estate, as well in it. So that's just kind of an added bonus. And you don't kick me out, and you let me
We're not going to kick you
everything
out. I'm curious though, so many people, you lost your job. It's amazing that they gave you a year's notice. What caused you said they outsourced, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they just decided that you were expendable and that they could do your job cheaper overseas.
And actually, it's not even overseas, just to another bigger healthcare company. Everyone's jobs moved over there. They gave us an opportunity to go there to a different company with a pay cut, doing my same stuff. And I refused because I didn't want to help them succeed in getting getting rid of our jobs and paying us less at another company. So
How did that feel?
terrible. I was angry. I was so mad, and they told us we should be thankful to them because they gave us a year, which, oh, I'm so happy you're giving my job away. So I was angry, and I just wanted to find something completely different.
Well, why not just go and get another job? I mean, you've been doing it for, you said, 17 years?
Yes, well, because I am that employee that bosses love because I go in, I do my job, I do extra, I'm pleasant, and where did that get me? It got me nowhere. It got me fired. So I'm tired of making other people money,
Okay.
so I want to make myself money. I'm a good worker, so
Yeah.
I'm done doing the 9 to 5.
How big was your team?
There were 30 of us in enrollment where I was at. So.
And you all lost your job. You all got on the
Oh
same
yeah.
Zoom call and they said you're fired in a year.
Yep. Yep. Well, it's actually throughout the whole company about 1,200 of us.
Okay. So just in the team, the 30 of you that were there, how did that news go over?
Horrible.
As you can imagine.
we were all we were all panicking. Some people immediately jumped ship. Others stayed like me because I wanted the severance package. Some went to the new company. So um, we all, it was hard. Let's just say it was hard doing our jobs up until that last day. And then I had to write manuals to give to the other people to do my job because there were only 3 of us I was a specialty within that.
Uh-huh.
So I had to write the desk level procedures to give the people to replace me. So
I mean, it's got to be hard knowing that you're expendable. I mean, what I don't even know how to ask you the appropriate question because you had a company come in and say that we're expending you, we're firing you because we're overpaying you essentially. We think that we can get it done cheaper, but then will you help me replace you? There's no loyalty here. You've been working, how long were you at that job?
17 and a half
Okay,
years.
so you were at that job for 17 and a half years. There's no loyalty. They came in and said, not even thanks for the 17 years, but like, hey, we're firing you in order so that we can make more money, but we need your help in firing you and replacing you. So write the manuals.
Right. Yeah. So I made sure everyone knew how to do everything. So
I mean, hats off to you because I think a lot of people would have just said,
I wanted my severance. Let's just say I wanted to get what's 17.5 years. It wasn't worth that, but
yeah.
it was something.
I mean, so many people in our society and in the United States feel that way right now, right? Like I'm just hearing it so much more that the generation that our parents and maybe grandparents lived in, where you worked for a company for 40 years, 50 years, they gave you a pension, they gave you a retirement, and that you're just gonna get a good education, go to college, and have this job and this career. So many of us were given that expectation.
That was me to a T. Yeah, my dad worked for the government. My mom worked for the government. You go to college, find a good stable job, and stay there.
Yeah.
That's what I was taught, and that's what I was doing. And that's not what you should do. I mean, I don't think so. Not anymore. Not in these times.
It's tough. So take me through the transition, like emotionally. What did that look like for you? I mean, at some point, you and Aaron decided you weren't going to go get another job. You were going to start investing. So you played it like not that you dabbled, but you tried some other programs. But what was that process with you and Aaron like to decide, okay, Deena's not going to go get a job, and she's going to go out on her own, and she is going to be an entrepreneur. She's going to invest. She's going to find something to do.
Well, I actually got my real estate license.
Okay.
So that was just going to try to supplement the investing. And we were going to give us about 6 months. And if I couldn't make ends or I couldn't make any money, then, I would have to get another job. But, we heavily invested in the over-the-counter liens and the Florida auction. I won a lot there. So that was awesome. And we're already seeing returns back. Not enough to live on yet, but you have to, you start small. We invested about 12,000 in the Florida auctions. And so far, St. Johns County has been a godsend to me. They are amazing. They give me an $18 fee on top of my interest. So every one I get back, I get 18 extra dollars on top of it. So again, and then I bought and sold a couple pieces of land. I actually have sold one in Florida on payments. So he's paying me about $250 a month for 30 months. So I've got another one.
Okay, hold on. You're throwing out so many things that everybody watching this is gonna be like, hold on, I need more information. So let's, I don't want to cut you off, but I do anyways. So hold on. So somebody's gonna watch this and I think they're gonna miss the point. You invested in St. John County in Florida. So in Florida, just for anybody watching new, the primary auction, it starts at 18% interest and they have all these certificates and they issue them at the auction. And the face value is how much the property owner owes in taxes that they didn't pay. And it's, if you want to win it, if Deena and I are competing to win the same certificate, it's not who will pay more. It actually is who will receive the least amount of interest. So it starts at 18, and Deena and I are competing. We bid until one of us basically taps out and says, "Okay, I'm not willing to take that lowest interest rate." The reason that so many people, including myself, like Florida, is there's a minimum 5% penalty on that certificate. So regardless of what I bid down to, assuming that the property owner pays off, I'm going to make at least a 5% return, which might not sound like a lot, but the way that we teach and the way that we try to invest is finding certificates that redeem quickly. And so if it redeems in a month or 2 months or 3 months, I'm making 5% in a month. So if I buy a $100 tax lien certificate, which what dollar amount were you buying?
It was kind of all over the place. Nothing more than like $800 though.
Okay.
But St. John's was lesser, more in the $100 to $75 to $100.
Okay, so let's say you buy a $100 tax lien. We're in July, so we're only a month and a half out from anyways. And you had one redeem that you paid, let's say $100. So regardless, you're making 5% in a month, so you make $5. But what you're saying, in addition, St. John County gives you an 18% processing fee on top of the
$18, not percent.
Oh, $18. Okay. So you're making an additional $18. So you made $5 in interest, but then you also made an additional $18 that you're getting back as a processing. So you made, my math quick, $23 on $100 in a month.
Yeah. What savings account does that? No.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And it's done. I've gotten three redeemed already.
3 of them?
So yeah, the interest was only like $3.16, but then I got that $18 fee. So, I mean, I'm making good money. To me, I mean, really, in the numbers, it really is good money.
Yeah. Now, here's the part that always makes me so excited. I know somebody's going to watch this and they're like, yeah, she made $20. So what?
That's $20, and I made $23 and one redeemed like 10 days after.
Yeah.
I made $23 in 10 days of just punching a button on a computer and doing nothing.
Okay, so here's I think the cool part that people are going to miss. How long did you spend bidding and buying tax lien certificates in Florida? So you bought, sorry, how many did you buy?
We bought 31 total.
Okay. How long did it take you?
Honestly, not that long, because you can set your parameters, and I use real auction for most of them. The longest it took me was in St. John's. They are direct bidding.
Yeah.
So I had to sit there and fight with people to get these tax liens.
Let's say it took you 10 hours. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Took you 10 hours. Since the auction ended, how much time have you spent?
None.
None.
I mean, I'm like a couple minutes tracking my redemptions in my spreadsheets.
So the only time you spend is counting your money, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thinking of ways to reinvest it, actually. So more taxly.
Yeah. So you spent about a couple hours at the beginning buying, but then you're just getting a return now that's coming purely passively. I think that's my favorite part. Is somebody's gonna like, yeah, but it's only $20. But yeah, I did it one time and now I'm getting paid over and over and over again without doing any other work.
Right.
And so now it's just about scaling for you. It's how to go from 30 tax liens that you make $20, $30 on each one, and scaling that so that you're buying more than 30 and making your profit margin goes up.
Yes. Yeah. That's what we plan on.
All right. So that's the first nugget that I wanted to make sure that people didn't just blow over. The second one, tell me more about this land deal that you just did.
Okay. Well, I bought a piece of property. I sent out mailers, bought a piece of property in Georgetown, Florida.
Okay.
For $3,000.
Okay.
Marketed it over Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
And sold it for $8,000. It's on payments for.
Okay, hold on real quick. $3,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so you bought it for $3,000 by sending mailers out, and you found this property. Someone contacted you. What kind of land is it?
It is just raw vacant land. That's what I like to do. I send out mailers, buy them free and clear. They're not tax deeds. They don't have liens. Just raw vacant land. I don't get infill lots. I don't like in the city. I pay investor prices for raw vacant land.
Yeah.
And then I turn around and try to sell it on payment.
Yeah. Okay. So you bought it for $3,000, and then you sold it for $8,000. There's magic here that I want to make sure we talk about. So inside of there, obviously you have some recording fees and some title fees and some things like that. But you've got a massive profit margin as a percentage, right? Mm-hmm. But then instead of selling it for $8,000 and walking away with a $3,000-ish check, maybe $4,000 check, you decided to do something else and completely instead. Did you take a down payment when you financed it?
Yes, I had a $500 down payment and a $150 non-refundable document fee.
Okay, so here's the cool part though now. So you sold it seller financing.
Correct.
At $8,000.
Sold it for $8,000.
How much are they paying you a month?
I don't even remember. It's been a while. I just collect the money.
Yeah.
I'm getting on. I think it's like $250. I'm logging on to my.
And it's like how many months?
30.
So $250 times 30 is $7,500.
Okay, so it's $271.06 in total because I charged them for the taxes.
Okay.
I added in, there's a POA, Property Owner Association fee.
Yeah.
I add that into his payment. So
sorry, you said how many months?
I think it is 30 months. Yep. Number of payments, 30.
Okay.
I don't charge, that's my selling point also, I don't charge interest.
Yeah.
So it's zero interest loans. That makes it, people more interested.
Sure.
Like I said, I do not transfer. I am my own title company. I make the deeds. I don't use a title company.
So it's all profit in there for you. You didn't have any commissions. You got nothing.
I have, the online payment processor fees,
Sure.
but minimal. I don't pay the title company.
Okay, so you do it all yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Now, if there's a little iffy on deeds, I go to Upwork.
Okay.
And I find a paralegal and I pay him $100 to create my deed for me.
Okay, so many things to unwrap here. First of all, why not just sell it for $8,000? Like, why sell it for $8,000 on a note and collect $250 a month?
Well, I wanted to duplicate this. I want the passive income, and a lot of people don't have $8,000 up front. So, I'm offering an opportunity to other people that might not have the money to pay it outright, but I'm giving them a chance to own land. Easy payments, and that way they can own land, I can make money, and I can keep duplicating, hopefully.
So $250 a month, I mean, that's the dream, right? Now we're talking about passive or residual income.
Right.
And what I love about this is so similar, in my opinion, to tax liens, in that you don't have any work. You don't. I mean, you have a property owner now. You don't have a tenant. So if anything goes wrong on the property, ultimately they're responsible for fixing it.
Oh, well, and they're not allowed to make improvements on my land until it's paid off. They
Okay.
can't build, they cannot put septic, they cannot do anything. And it's still in my name. If they don't pay me in 30 days, I send a registered letter and I tell them contact me or I'm taking the land back. If they don't,
Yeah.
land's already mine. I resell it.
Yeah. Just do it again.
Yeah,
Amazing. Congratulations, by the way.
yeah. Thank you.
A lot of this seems like you're setting yourself up to create residual income. Like you're not chasing a chunk of money. Like you could sell it probably for 5 or 6, maybe 7 grand and get a chunk,
Right.
but that's not what you're chasing. That's not your goal. You're creating passive streams of income.
Trying, yes.
Why? Why do it that way?
Well, I mean, why not? But no, honestly, because that sets you up for long-term success. Like, if Aaron loses his job and I have this passive income coming for months and months and months, we still have that. That comes no matter whether he's working 9 to 5 or not. It's kind of like tax liens. But in this, I actually know I'm getting the money. Tax liens, you never know when they're going to redeem. So this to me is more steady. It's less fast paced. I don't mind if I could wholesale a house, but this is less legwork. I can hand it over to my marketing VA because I did find someone on Upwork
Uh-huh.
to market the properties for me. And then when they want to buy, I get on the phone, talk to the people, make the contract. I have a program that makes all the contracts too, so I just type it in and it creates it for me. So it's really a couple hours worth of work and set it. And my processor account, they log on, they create an account, they pay through there, and then the money comes into my account. So
Yeah, it's amazing.
I like that.
Yeah, you like just money showing into your checking account.
Yeah, I do.
Are you still in contact or communication with anybody from your previous job on your team?
A couple people that went over to the new job,
Uh-huh.
tried to ask me questions, and I told them, well, if you want to pay me, I will come consult, but I'm not telling you how to do it. So, but as far as someone that didn't, I do have a friend I'm still in contact. We both didn't go to to that company, but I have, yeah, one other person.
What does it feel like? How long ago was that, by the way?
December. Merry Christmas to us. It was December 31st. So.
Okay, so it's been 7 or 8 months, right? Since that happened.
hmm
What has it felt like? Like I'm sure it was terrifying when you decided to, hey, I'm gonna go try to invest and I'm gonna try to go make money on my own after being in a corporate environment. Like it had to be scary for you, and it's incredible listening to you talk, and you're talking about processing payments and using Upwork and having a VA and the growth that you've experienced in 7 months, and you've bought tax liens and you flipped land, and I know you are buying some rental properties.
Yes, closing today, actually. So,
Day. Incredible. Like, what does it feel like to look and see some of your team like at the new company going through the same stuff? What does it feel like to talk to people from your team that maybe didn't go to the new company that went and found a new job?
honestly, I feel I go through periods, to be honest, because I'm conditioned to that 9 to 5 grind. So I go through periods of feeling like I'm actually worthless, like I'm not making money, like I was, but I'm making moves. And then I go through periods of I'm free, haha, you're at work and I'm sitting here doing what I want to do, looking at tax liens or, trying to buy land. So it really goes through its mindset. A lot of it's mindset because I've been conditioned my whole life to work hard, go to work, punch a clock. So it's freeing and it's still scary. I'm still getting over that fear and worry.
What are you still scared of?
Just not being able to make this last. And I'm scared of going back to a 9 to 5, to be honest. That is a big deal for me. So that I guess that's a motivator too, right? To keep trying, grinding, keep doing all this. I know this is kind of off track, but we just also created a chat bot
Okay.
for Facebook for house flipping. So that goes live. I have a call in 45 minutes to take over that. So I think the fear is motivating me to try. I'm trying to set up a ton of different things that can just, once I get them going, I want them to run without me.
Yeah.
I want to hire the people to do the stuff. I want
sure.
to own it and it make money, but not me have to work in that job. I want people to work for me. So.
I mean, I see the growth. And I'm guessing that some of the growth has to do with your professional experience. That some of the things that, and maybe I'm just guessing there, but because of you working in corporate America, you've been able to do all of these things. But so many people that I see that are just starting out, they have this belief that you have to have a job, that you can't make it on your own. And it's been 7 months and you're doing some incredible things. What have you learned about yourself?
I learned that I can push through my fears and my stress, and I learned that actually I can do anything that I put my mind to. Really, I'm still learning on forcing myself to pick up the phone and do those calls.
Yeah.
I like the texting. I'm not the calling type of person, but
Yeah.
I've also learned I can hire a VA for that too.
What have you decided that you used to believe that you no longer believe?
Well, I used to believe that you had to get up and work hard and you would be taken care of by being loyal to a company, working extra hard for that company. That was the biggest myth I think I was ever put in my head. I mean, by my dad and mom, but it was a different time in, the 50s, 60s, when they were growing up. That is probably the biggest thing that I no longer believe. You don't have to work for other people to make a living. You can work for yourself. And I had no idea until you guys helped us help me learn there's so many other avenues to make money.
Yeah. What are you scared of now? After going through it for 7 months, now what are you scared of?
Not hitting our goal of getting Aaron out of his job in 5 years. So that's really a big thing. Maybe not having enough. I want to have enough set up so that him and I can travel the world before I can't. So like I said, I'm taking care of mom. We have a genetics disease. She can't walk anymore.
Oh, wow.
So that started about 65. I'm 43. So that's my fear, is not getting this going to where Aaron and I can have fun now. That's what I want.
Have you had conversations like this with your mom? Like, has your mom seen you quit your job, not quit your job, get fired from your job and decide to start investing? How have those conversations gone?
Yeah. Well, mom's real estate is scary. Real estate is fickle. Sorry, mom, if you watch this, that's her voice. And I tried to explain to her about tax liens, and she's like, so you own the house? No, mom,
No.
no, I don't. So they have to pay you to get their house back. So, so she's like, you're always on the phone, because she's heard me take calls from my mailers on land.
Yeah.
She's actually watched me or listened to me talking to a seller, or and negotiating. They now make me, like, I had to sell her car. They make me do all the negotiations and sales.
Yeah. It's interesting because through you, it feels like your mom is starting to believe.
Yeah, kind of. Oh,
Kind of.
let's see. If I ever converted her, that would be a miracle. But but no, she's at least not saying the things she was.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think she's believing that maybe I can make some income.
Yeah.
Not as much as having a real job is. A real job is what she says, but
Isn't it amazing how hard that conditioning is set?
yeah. Well, back in her time, I mean, she retired from the government. She gets a set amount from the government every month. It's nice. She can live on it, but it's not that way for us anymore. And she doesn't understand that.
When I first started, one of the things that stuck with me was checks don't lie.
Right.
And so, like, just today on my desk, these are both from Orange County, Florida. I haven't opened them yet, but tax liens show up, right? It's so hard to deny something when you see that it works. When you get that check, when you open up your bank account, you wake up in the morning and you see your bank account's up $250, it's up $100, whatever it is. It's so hard to deny it when you actually see it working.
Right. Yeah. Or I open up my email and, oh, nice. There's that redemption email. I got another $20. Cool. It's so awesome. It's like you said, there's no other feeling knowing that I just woke up and there's money coming to me. So
tell me about Aaron. How has it impacted Aaron to see you do this?
He is so excited. I mean, he actually gets jealous because he wants to spend the time. We love looking at tax liens together too, but he's at work. He's a manager. Manager. Everyone. He can't. He doesn't have time during the day, and here I am, like, babe, here's this tax lien. He's like, buy it. He completely trusts me. He's so excited. We went to the foundation twice.
Yeah.
And the second time, because he's always at work, the second time at foundation, I look over and he's like, I just bought 7 tax liens over the counter. So the man loves his tax liens. He's super, super excited about all of it. Like I said, he gets jealous that I can pretty much pick my day, but we're trying to work towards him being home, because he said, imagine if I was home all day too and I could focus on, we could split tasks. He could do something on real estate. He actually has some training he's finishing up on excess proceeds. We've got some training on that too. That's his bread and butter. He's gotten a couple leads from that too. But
what would it look like if Aaron was home? What would it look like for both of you to be working on this full time?
I think we could get there a lot faster. You can't see it, but I have a computer right here with 2 monitors. We each have 2 monitors and a workstation. We could be in here tag teaming ideas, and it takes a while. You need to learn things. So you have to learn the financial side of things, learn about corporations. So, just having the time for us to sit down and learn, because some things I don't understand. He's a numbers guy. I know 5 + 5, but that's about it. I mean, so if he was here all day, and I'm kind of a squirrel, so he would keep me more on track too.
It's nice to have a partner.
Yeah. So if we could be here together doing it, I think we'd be miles ahead than we are now.
You talked about, I think you used the word freedom.
Yes.
That now you get to wake up and you get to do whatever you want. You get to spend as much time as you want working. You get to spend as much time as you want taking the dog for a walk, etc. What is that? What is having that freedom that you don't have to clock in and clock out? You don't have to be at your job at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Well, you have to be careful with that freedom or you get lazy and things fall through the cracks. So I have to still, I'm up at my alarm at 5:30. I still get up. I see him off to work. Then I try to I have set things I need to do. But I also have to take care of mom, so I'm pulled a lot of different ways with that as well. But um, freedom is great, but you have to still man your business, I guess. Mind your business is what they say.
Yeah.
Or I will spend all the time out with my dogs. Or we have 19 acres. I would rather be out mowing
Yeah.
than sitting inside. So freedom's great, but you still have to. I have to monitor myself. Let's just say I kind of have to keep myself on a schedule. So I don't know. Maybe that's that ingrained in me that I have to get up and have a schedule, but I don't know. Freedom's not free for me, right?
That freedom is interesting. The things that you're talking about right now and the stresses that you have, I think that most people at a job would give up anything to have.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, me too. So I couldn't go back. That's why I said we have to make this work. And with the rental coming, we're really into the passive income. That's what we really want to have. Set ourselves up.
It feels like you've upgraded, and this is what I mean. When you work at a job and you lose your job, the worst case scenario is you have no job.
Right.
And you have to figure out how to make ends meet. You have to rely on somebody else for a short period of time, hopefully, right? Maybe you have family, maybe you have friends, maybe they can help you. There's tons of government programs that can help people that need help. But that's kind of worst case scenario.
Right.
It's interesting now, your worst case scenario is most people's lives. Meaning, like, if this doesn't work, you just go back to having a job. Like, you failing at this just means you just go back to having a job.
Right.
That's got to give you some comfort.
It does, especially when you put it like that. I mean, I'm like, okay, it's not that bad, but hearing it back to myself, that's really cool.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've never really thought of it like that. The worst case scenario is, getting a real job, as mom would say.
Yeah. One of the things that I've recently discovered about myself, and that has become a big shift in my mindset, and I think you've seen this a little bit inside of Taxling Code, is when we decide to make a change. I think the hardest part is stepping away from a group of people. And I remember somebody saying, like, I've been an entrepreneur since college. I've been on my own since college, investing and starting businesses and running everything since I was in college. And I remember the first time somebody said something to somebody else. They said, well, like, they came in and they started investing and they said, well, you changed. And I remember thinking, like, that was the point. like nobody starts a business or decides to do something different to stay the same. Like, that doesn't even make any sense to me. Right. But with that change often comes a new group of people. When you were working at your job, I won't say your identity, but every day you're with those same people and you're thinking and you're talking about the same things over and over and over again. And so when you start something new and you change, right? Like, you're now all of a sudden with a new group of people. You're not 9 to 5 at that job anymore. Now you're investing, and investors think and we talk and we act differently than somebody going to a 9 to 5 job. And it's hard. And it almost feels like you're rejecting a group of people to me. Like you're giving up or you're quitting those people.
Uh-oh.
And a lot of times there's nothing to go to, right? Like there's not a new group. Like I quit this group of people, but I don't know where I'm going. And so one of the things, once we realized that, we built Discover.
That was the coolest thing you guys have done. Like that Discover is mind change, like awesome. I just really love it. It's so awesome. I can get on and tell people I bought a tax lien or blah, 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 and other people too. And I love talking about it, and now I can talk about it all the time. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that is just, it's great.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying. What has it done for you?
It's made me feel more connected to people. Like now I know the Harvey brothers. I don't know them, but man, I can't wait to meet them at one of the events. And Aaron on the just talking to people on the Discover. It's like, wow, I never would have gotten to meet or talk to these people, even though they love the same things I do, without Discover. So I'm really excited. I hope they come to Kansas City sometime, so I can meet all these people now that I already talked to them. So
I think so many times being an entrepreneur feels like you're on an island.
yeah.
You're all by yourself. And to realize that there's a whole cruise ship full of people that are legitimately just a couple keystrokes away, that when you have a question, or sometimes it's just a pat on the back and a hug, that just something happened and I just need somebody to give me a hug.
Right. Or I bought my first rental house and I put a picture on there, and people can say awesome, and it's not, people maybe on Facebook behind the scenes, like, not actually happy for you. These people are like wanting to succeed and wanting us to succeed. So it's just great to have people that are doing the same things we are, and like I get ideas like Erin, she with her redemption money is going to take that and file TDAs. I'm like, I never thought about that. I just thought about reinvesting in more Lien. So why not take some of that money, and because I have several I need to do TDAs on, so I didn't even think about that. They give you ideas. We share tips and tricks. It's awesome. I love it. I really do.
I love that there's this sense of community and there's an opportunity, because we all want to be the hero of our own story.
Right.
And unfortunately, most people don't want us to, well, I shouldn't say that. There's a lot of people that don't want to see you win, because it means in their mind that they're failing.
Right.
And that's just not the way it works. And so to have so many people cheering you on and patting you on the back and giving you ideas, it's fun for me to just kind of sit back and watch and be a spectator in that arena and see so many people helping and be able to chime in when needed or where needed and when I can benefit. But I love seeing Deena's hero arc and your story building and growing, and all the congratulations in the world to you, Deena, because you are inspiring to me. I love seeing people just getting in that are learning and growing and investing and trying and succeeding and making money and doing all the things. And so from me to you, thank you for being part of Tax Lien Code, but more importantly, for succeeding and doing something new and exciting and scary and terrifying and overcoming all the fears and doing it anyways.
Well, thank you for having me, and I love the opportunity you guys provide us. So.
Well, keep coming back.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, we'll see you in Discover.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Deena. Tell Aaron hi.
All right. I will. Bye.
So, what'd you think? I loved it. I loved that conversation. I loved hearing Deena. I loved talking to her about everything. Everything from the fears and the worries that she had to the successes she's having and her goals and her ambitions, and hearing her talk about the community, about Discover, and how excited she is to be a part of that. I see so many other people in Deena that are going through the same thing, that are sitting in a situation where they don't like their job, or they realize their job is going to be ending and so worried about what's gonna happen, and talking to Deena and seeing her win, seeing her succeed, seeing her become the hero of her own story, and realizing that she's in charge, that she gets to decide what those next steps are. That when life says, hey, life is not gonna go according to plan, instead of just following along saying, it's not good enough for me, I don't wanna do what you tell me I have to do anymore because it's not leading to what I view as success for me, to say, I'm gonna take control, I'm gonna be in charge, and I'm gonna make my life what I want. Love it. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Click, follow, subscribe, do all the things. Keep listening, keep participating, and we hope to see you in Discover as well.